About 2 years ago, I started introducing a HIIT interval training into my weekly training routine. I started doing 1 day a week, a workout of 30 minutes. Initially, I think it was even shorter, maybe 28 minutes or something like this. During this time, my Garmin VO2 Max running estimate increased from about 52, 53 to now 57. The reason I started doing this was that there seemed to be some evidence that introducing a HIIT workout, that HIIT workouts contributed to increasing VO2 Max. VO2 Max is maximum oxygen uptake measured in milliliters per kilogram per minute, at least the relative version thereof. There is also an absolute version which is not standardized to body weight. While VO2 Max I never got properly measured, I just used the Garmin estimate. It in this time at least increased. So at least I'm not doing something entirely wrong. While I started out slightly differently, eventually I finalized the version at the previous gym I went to as to using 6 different stations. The first one, the treadmill, second one, rowing, indoor bike, elliptical, rowing machine, and air bike. Each of these stations I do 3 times, and I rest therefore 2 times in between, and 1 time basically in the transition from one station to the next. I created the workout in Garmin, so this is Sprint FF because the previous gym I went to was called Fitness First, and so I have it set up like this. I always have basically the first step, and then I have the rest time, and I do the whole block basically 3 times until I go on to the next block. On the Garmin watch, it then on the HIIT activity, it looks like this. So here for example, I'm currently resting, and it shows me the resting time that is still on here. I can also skip to the next step if I'm particularly funny or this joke did not work. But now let's go into the next station, and we can see that now basically it is showing rowing machine, and it also is showing me the round, which especially if I'm kind of forgetting how many rounds I have done on the assault bike or on the treadmill already, is quite helpful. Also to kind of just have a target in mind. It's like, this is hard. Is this going on forever, or is there something I can at least hope for, which is the end of at least this station? The reason I now start out with the treadmill is the following. The treadmill seems to be the hardest, mostly because there are external constraints, the incline as well as the speed, which I can control, and I also can compare from one week to the next. On the other stations, it's much more difficult to basically have metrics like these. So I start out on the treadmill mostly because it just hits me basically. Then I go onto the rowing machine to then use a different muscle group, to not have one particular muscle group then being the limitation of basically further cardiovascular output. After the rowing comes the indoor bike, then the elliptical, which again is quite similar to running, then again rowing machine, and then the air bike. Since the air bike is also close in the movement pattern to the elliptical, and so therefore I have rowing in between again. On average, this one HIIT workout seems to put me into the optimal zone for anaerobic loads, but currently it is not.